Hi, so welcome back to the second section of our Goal Achieving Masterclass. So in this section, I'm actually going to cover SMART goals in brief, planning long-term, brainstorming questions, talk to people, find inspiration, and also how you're going to do your worksheets. So the first part is about planning long-term. So let's imagine you're like 50 years old today. What would life be like for you? So let's take a journey to like a few decades into the future. Where do you envision yourself? If you're 30 today, how will life be like for you? Will you be a professor? Or will you be a dropout? Or are you going to have a spouse and kids? Where will you be living? What kind of friends are you going to have? If you're 60, will you be a minister maybe? Or will you be retired and playing with your grandkids? Now come back to this very decade you have. So if you're like 18, now your next decade is between 18 to 27. And then you're going to build a ladder that will get you to that very position that you envision yourself to be at when you're 60 or 50. Because it's a ladder, you must go there step by step. So plan according to decades. It's not really about goals. So it's not going to be like, okay, for my next decade I'm going to have a PhD. No, it's just going to be learn. So this next decade I'm going to dedicate it to learning. So learning will not involve going to university, having a master's, PhD, taking courses and reading books and all of that. So it's basically just about deciding what you're going to dedicate this very decade to. So if you dedicate the next decade to learning, you can have things for it. You can treat it to three goals. Could be things like having 5 certifications, read some books, teach 50 people what I have learned, because one of the best ways to learn something is when you learn it, we teach it. So now, after imagine like a life at like 60, come back to 50, 40, 30, 20. And then now, if you break your life into decades, choose 3 goals for each of these decades. So, for example, now between 10 to 20, maybe all you want to be your soft skills, how you communicate with people, how you write, and stuff like that. And maybe by the time you're 20, your plan for the next decade is not going to be about maybe having hard skills, networking, building your influence. By the time you're 30, your next decade will be about building your family, gaining some power and wealth. Just it's your life. So imagine how it's going to be, how you want it to be, because it doesn't always end up like that. But you need to have something you're looking forward to. So next slide shows some questions I'll help you guide you. So I just pause the video here. And for each stage of your life, so when you're 30, ask these questions. As when you're 40, ask these questions. 50, and ask again for 60. Just go through them, and it will help you have a clear picture of what you want in different areas of your life. And you have a task here, which is basically this is the next 3 decades you have, hopefully, of course. And then next to each stage, you should write 3 key things you want to work on. Remember, it's not about goals, it's about areas. So, like I mentioned, it's not about having a PhD, it's about learning. So, just write that down. And then I like it when I write stuff like this on a piece of paper, because usually after I write it, the next I always feel like, I need to change this and improve this. So now I like to write it a few times in a rough sheet before I transfer it to my main diary and do the same thing. So the next part of this section is about talking to people. Why should you talk to people? People give you new perspectives. So if you had asked yourself the questions in the previous slides, all you would have written about and just about things that you've been exposed to, or you can't imagine what you haven't been exposed to. So in talk to other people, they get to share new ideas with you. So let's say you see someone who's like 40, and then you're like, maybe you're assuming you're 18 years now, and you ask this person, you're 18, what are you doing? And they tell you, you may end up feeling like, okay, I could actually do more, or there are better ways I could actually, navigate this life at this stage. And they asked me when they were like 30, what were they doing? Let them give you their stories. You get to learn a lot from them. And then who do you talk to? Talk to your family easily. Talk to your mentors. Talk to people who inspire you. And then stage is basically about, so when you are maybe 18, yeah, definitely when you talk to someone who's 60, you learn some things. But when you talk to someone who's like 25, it's actually closer to your age and he is more current. So she will actually be in a better position to guide you on certain things. If it's business related, if your business probably has a revenue, much revenue, like 30K, if you talk to a billionaire, he's not really going to have practical advice for you, because he's not in the same position as you. But when you talk to someone who makes like 1 million, Now he's closer to where you are, so he's going to have more relative advice for you. That's what I meant by stages. Now, how do you reach these people? If they are not already in your network, it's simple. Social media, Instagram, always. That's why you must have a very standard Instagram page. I'm not saying you should go and be posting. No, you just have to be active. But at least your bio should be neat, your post should be neat, so that people go there. Even if you just want to post that you see, at least it will look like a decent person. Send them again. If you don't reply, some of them have their emails on their pages, so just click it and send them an email. Here is also another reason why I have an email that makes sense. So it's like your name, like proper name, not some crazy names that people use for their emails. Send them an email. If that doesn't work, find them on LinkedIn, talk to them there. If that doesn't work, usually attend events. Find out when you post a flyer for different events you're going to be attending. Post in the comment section and also be there in your life to connect with them. If that doesn't work, find out someone that they relate to on social media, like your friend. With time, you see that someone who has 100k followers as a friend that probably has like 2k. Send that friend a DM. Tell them you want to connect with that guy, but then the person, that lady, but then the person is not responding or something is busy. Can you please put you in touch with them? They usually do. I've tried it out, it always works. What do you ask them? Guide. People like it when a young person approaches them and it's like, okay, I'm actually impressed by what you've been able to accomplish, and by the time I get to your age, I'll probably want to be like you. But I need you to guide me. How did you get here? People always talk to you whenever that you approach them like that. Then setting goals for life pillars. So the prerequisite is basically in the last section we discussed life pillars. So you should have selected your life pillars by now. So I gave you 2 examples here. So assuming so for each pillar you need to have like 3 rules or 2. Relationships is one of your pillars now. This is actually from my 2019 goals. Define close circle and keep them. I really had to do that. Don't miss birthday gifts for friends. I'm terrible with that. I'm even terrible with remembering birthdays. So at least so like I'll remember, I'll check and as a gift. I did struggle with it, and it's 3 years since then. But sure. Get an acquaintance in business, maybe a celebrity, a politician, and someone who works for an international organization. This was basically about building my network. Other examples. So let's say your business is one of your pillars. You could decide to, this year I'm going to register my company. I'm going to work with at least 10 clients or customers, and I'm going to speak at a conference in my industry. Even if you're not able to speak at a conference, we can put together your own. Invite 10 people, talk. That's a masterclass you did, and that's actually a huge thing for you. Setting goals. So I'm not really going to go into details about SMART goals because I believe you will probably know about it. S is not SMART, so it's a mistake on my part. S is specific. Measurable. So specific means it needs to be so maybe your goal shouldn't be I will reach this year. Okay, I'll reach. Specified. Measurable. It may be similar to specific, but you want to be able to measure. So let's say I want to read 10 books. So I say I read 10 books, I mean yes, I've achieved this goal. Achievable. When you say you want to probably be a professor this year, that's crazy because it's not achievable. Relevant. So it has to be relevant to your life goals and time bound. There always has to be a deadline. So by the time you want to do something this year, it's already achieved. It's already time bound. But then you can be more specific and be like, so by 25th of May, But when you say this year, it's already time bound. Now, I'm going to talk about inspiration because you always need to find inspiration. So your goals come from where? Your own deep thoughts and ideas. You talk to people and get their own ideas. And then we also find inspiration from people who are not really, we can't really reach. So read biographies. I love to read biographies. The last one I read is about the shoe dog, Patrick Knight, as founder of Nike. The story of how he built Nike was so insightful. I just started jogging. I always jog, but I kind of stopped recently. But the book really inspired me to start jogging again and stuff like that. So biographies give you inspiration and ideas about what to actually do with your life. Watch YouTube documentaries on different things. Could be about how a nation was built, how Burj Arab was constructed, those crazy engineering projects. Basically things that you just watch and you really feel inspired. People are inspired to be different. People are inspired to watching luxury cars and houses and stuff. That doesn't work for me. But whatever is going to, I think I just watch and just the ideas are just coming to you back to back. Whatever that is for you, watch it. Watch movie documentaries. I think there is this movie called Rwanda, for example. That's a documentary about genocide in Rwanda. it wasn't a particularly inspiring movie because it was, I mean, pretty bad time for Rwanda. But what I got from it was basically about how look at Rwanda today. Like, okay, this is a country that went through that and survived, and this is what they're doing today. Personally, that was inspiring for me. So I watched a documentary about such things, also about people. Steve Jobs is a movie documentary about him. The Social Network, also about Marcus Zuckerberg. I love that movie. It inspired me a lot of things. He built his Facebook from the dorm room, and all that. I was watching it in level one that time. I was feeling like him. Anyways, this is mentors and head of stories. I think I mentioned this earlier about talking to people. So head of stories from when they were around your age. I always love to do this. Whenever I meet someone for the first time and I have time, that's what I want to hear about their story. What were you doing in secondary school? What were you doing in university? What was your first business? What was your first job? When did you first lose money? What's the biggest thing you regret doing? What's one thing you regret just doing? And people like to talk when you ask them about themselves. Don't go and be the one making all the talk. Ask questions. Yeah, just learn. And always go to touch others. Always. That talking, you open and you're writing, it makes them feel this person values my time or I'm sharing, and they share more. And whenever I like have with someone and you jot those things down, maybe if you really feel it, if you actually mention something like implement, do it and text the person. Actually try this, it worked. Next time you meet the person, if you meet the lady, you meet her, you're going to be like, hey, the last time you mentioned this thing, actually try to do it. I mentioned to other people, I've been telling everyone about it. There's this particular thing one of my mentors told me. He said, and I mean, the only boundary you have is your deen. Forget every cultural boundary, African boundary, all those boundaries. The only boundary you have is your deen. If your deen is okay with something, do it. And I have told probably 100 people. And every once in a while, I'll call her and be like, I just shared your code to someone, and I remember I said, call you and greet you. So, and she, the relationship has been blooming since then. And the final part is about filling your worksheets. So I actually made this Bible sheet because I didn't think it looks nice. I'm not a graphic designer. But anyways, so there are two parts, right? The second part, my life goals, are basically broken down into your life pillars. So when I share with you, the pillar blanco, the pillar will not be written, so you have to like write it. So if it's religion, business, whatever, I just write your 5 pillars. And then next to each one, write 2 goals. And then I may add one for the sake of the 3. So write your 3 goals for each of those. And then after you've done all this, you've decided this is what I want to do this year. Write those things down. And this a boy can dream or a girl can dream. You're also the custom, male or female. Just a crazy goal. Something that's actually achievable, but it's crazy. So just write I just like to read. My why. So remember in the last session, because why do you do what you do? Why do you wake up every morning? Write it there. And the other section, my big goals. So big goals actually come from your pillars. So among all your pillars, you pick 3 things that are like the biggest things I want to do this year. So they are going to be big based on 2 things. First off, how hard they are to accomplish and how important they are. These 2 things. Consider that before you answer the top 3 things. Now, goal 1, write the name of the goal. Okay. I probably want to be a millionaire this year. Just a sample. I don't really like to write goals like that because I feel you need to write things, money will always come. Anyways, it's also an example. So probably could like October and maybe something towards the end of the year. Then big goals normally require a lot of steps. So break that big goal down into 5 steps. Remember I spoke about chunky 5. Getting to the next section. Chunky 5 basically how you break down your goals into chunks. So for every small thing, so for example now, I want to have an office and have like 3 staff by the end of this year. My first task was going to be about registering my business, and I'd be like, okay, by January, that's when it's due date. My second task will be trying to find customers, or maybe if I actually hire one person, maybe hire the person, the third one will get 5 customers by May. Break it down. Then on the other side, you see where people needed. So you always need people that accomplish your goals. If, for example, this goal is under religious pillar, maybe you want to like learn more about religion and stuff like that, you're going to need a scholar, probably an Islamic scholar or a Christian scholar who knows about these things. You're going to need that person. Personally, I also write a friend because whenever I want to improve something, I always get one friend who is dedicated for me for that pillar. They won't know, of course, but me, I know. you are in my life to remind me about God. Very important. So it could be that person is a spiritual person, that's like you're a scholar, and then your friend. Possible obstacles, what could possibly prevent you? If it's business, for example, you could actually put school. You could put school, you could put your environment. What is actually going to prevent you from achieving that? You could actually write it, and on the other side, maybe like, okay, school, you put a dash and put the solution, like how it's usually going to do. So maybe like be more conscious with time and stuff like that. So for each of the three goals, write that. So yes, this brings us to the end of our second section. 15 minutes. Anyways, if you have any questions, let me know in the group.